Hello, everyone, and welcome back to RGL TF26's invite. My name is TC Meno. I am joined by Wild Rumpus. We have got Dolphin on production as always, and tonight we have got maybe one of the most anticipated games of the regular season, as short as it has been. It is going to be Froyotech versus Moneyballs here on Granary, what is going to be the first and second seed battling out, and it's going to be the last opportunity for someone to deny Froyotech their perfect regular season, as they have not lost a round and not lost a game. So they are in very good stead in the majority of this season, but Moneyballs looking to try and deny that. Someone who has got a little bit more info being on the team, and maybe someone who can give us a little bit of insight onto the Moneyballs philosophy. Wild Rumpus, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. And yeah, as we can see, I mean, obviously Froyo with the flawless record. Moneyballs are currently 8-1 after a forfeit win against Anglerfish, which is scheduled for tonight, I guess. And their one loss was against Froyo. And as you mentioned, Froyo haven't dropped rounds yet. Was also the case in their last matchup against Moneyballs, 5-0 win on, on process. So we've seen Granary be a go-to map for Moneyballs to pick. We'll see if they can turn things around. I mean, Granary mids, very easy to, or, can be very dependent on the double bombs. And you never know. I mean, if Loaf and Slug can find a way to kill Lol Guy, and Habada is able to survive, which should mention a new face here on Moneyballs replacing Dank, then yeah, you never know what could happen.
Yeah, that is true. You never can know, and it is important because you mentioned that roster swap. Habada was last seen on Froyotech, and there's a lot of kind of mixing and matching going on between these two teams. Obviously, Moneyballs isn't G6, but it kind of comes from that Mama's Boys team from the previous season, which was kind of maybe somewhat related to like a G6, had a lot of the same players, and this is kind of evolving from that. So Bomo is going to be really the only player from that G6 squad still remaining, and he's going to be facing off against three of his former teammates in Kobe, Lol Guy, and Soapy Meister on Froyotech now.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I mean, we'll have to see. Have Froyo played Granary this season? I need to go check. I mean, obviously they're going to be comfortable on it, but again, I mean, it could be a bit of a coin flippy mid. I don't know. Who do you think is going to be kind of standout performers this game?
Ooh, well, I can tell you, you are right in your hunches that they have not played Granary so far in this season, at the very least. And I don't know how much different RC17A3 is from any of the previous Granary versions. They've kind of been mixing and matching them over the season, but they should be pretty familiar. Everyone on Froyotech has played countless seasons at this point. And speaking of people who I expect to stand out, I actually think we're going to see a lot of great stuff. I've been impressed from the soldiers. Obviously, Soapy Meister, it's just like probably maybe the best roamer at the moment in North America. You could argue worldwide, but at least definitely in North America, the best roamer. But I also think Speedy as well has been doing a lot for the team. That's maybe the player that, when you look at Froyotech, maybe the player that people know the least about. Obviously, still won recently with the the Exile Lol Guy squad recently at RGL LAN. I'm blanking on the team name, but
Right.
already won there. But a really great soldier
Legacy,
in his own right.
right?
Yes, Legacy. Thank you. So I think on Froyotech, I'm looking at the soldiers. The soldiers can go super high on this mid, and I think in the previous Granary game we saw the soldiers being able to get onto the medic pretty consistently was what kind of enabled the team to win.
Yeah, not to take that tone, I honestly expect big things from Kobe, because he's just kind of the player that seems to be on this roster to just get a lot of kills and just do really well in fights, and he's really good at that. I think it's going to be a similar story here. I'm actually curious to see how the Raven Kobe flank scout matchup shakes out, because Raven as well is an extremely talented player who's been kind of on like the quiet side of Invite, I suppose, as far as like rosters are concerned, and also has been siphoned off to different like advanced or whatnot friend teams for my group of friends. But yeah, he's up there for sure.
No, I would definitely agree on the flip side for Moneyball's Raven, someone to look out for. I'd say Bomo as well. I think, this year, essentially, he has been on fire on every team he's played at. Just absolutely doing the best. I think the majority of the times he's in the server and really kind of being the difference maker from all the lands that he's played previously. And just this year, he's been looking really, really good. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see him go on some crazy kill streaks on Scout, or maybe he gets on the sniper and hits some insane headshots. But no, I would definitely agree as well with Raven and also Bomo. And then I'd also extend it to Slug Mundo. I think, we haven't had a lot of time to really see Slug on Soldier. He hasn't had a lot of time to get situated because it's a short season and he got placed in maybe halfway through the season. So really not a lot of time at all. But I think even with that being said, been playing well with the squad and someone who I could see doing a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, and I gotta say, I'm flying around the map and I'm a little bit disappointed at the fact that, only a third of seasons you get to play typically fall on top of Halloween time. And yet people aren't
True.
really repping their costumes. I feel like having a Halloween loadout is, a very special part of the season.
No, I would definitely agree. I mean, we do have playoffs, so maybe they'll save that for grand finals, which I'm sure isn't scheduled, but we could have it the Thursday before Halloween. But we won't have to worry too much longer, as we are going to go live with the final game of the regular season, Moneyballs versus Froyo, trying to keep them from their perfect season, and Froyotech trying to make it so as we roll out on the very first fight. Both demos are going to be going onto upper, onto catwalk. Dingo actually going to be forced down, lands on top of the pack, but Habib, very weak, actually just going to have to wait for the arrow. Speedy, going to be jumping around. Soapy Meister with the follow through, gain some good damage onto Bomo, but no one falling just quite yet. Habib taking a lot of damage. Raven, going to be able to get onto Banny, and they're kind of all balled up in this corner. I say the ball is going to go, oh my god, the nuke from the Soldier. Speedy absolutely coming in, takes down Hubba. Low guy, nice surf. Oh my god, that's a beautiful surf over the little container there.
That is crazy. I mean, early mid definitely went much better for Moneyballs and even found a kill onto Banny as well. From there, I kind of thought that Froyo were going to be out of commission on the mid, or at least have to leave. But no, their re-aggression was just way too much and somehow found a full wipe there. Securing themselves full ad into last now. We do see Raven taking a peek there through the shutter, getting, I believe, a body shot on someone, maybe Habib. Meanwhile, gun going up, which is just standard last hold stuff.
Yep, standard last hold stuff at the moment as Froyotech try and peek their way in. Seems like they're going to be opting to go through the shutter. They bomb Habib and he gets blasted a little bit by the sentry gun, but he's able to take it down regardless. And they're trying to clear the stickies off a point. Loaf, pretty weak, might be able to make it back into spawn, but Habib, oh my god, up in the sky, just launching down stickies. It's going to get taken down by the heavy, but there's no one on the point. And that's going to be the first round for Froyo.
Yeah, and what I saw from that last push was Froyo really good at applying pressure to Moneyballs' soldiers, basically forcing both Slug and Loaf to resub at the same time, meaning there's no soldier to bomb and stop the point from being capped. So pretty textbook stuff there from Froyo on mid.
Yep, textbook stuff as Froyotech gonna try and make it a twofer as Dingo goes down very weak again. Is gonna die before he gets the pack. Habib with the sticky stipe, and now it's gonna be all eyes. Can they take? Oh my god, nope, that's not gonna be an attempt on Low Guy. Low Guy gonna be able to survive both Slug and Raven. Nice projectile air shot from someone onto Slug Mundo, but with that early demo kill, they're just gonna have to back all the way up.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of highlighting like how unfair this roster can be, because on other mids, like, hey, you lose your demo early. Oh, actually, Speedy sacking in here does get the drop on Hubba, who unfortunately had bows out. Just wasn't a door being watched. Froyo are gonna back up. Looks like they want to maybe wait for this spawn. No, they're going right away. They'll be taking the Uber in and maybe almost catching Raven as well.
Catching Raven, and so pretty much is just jumping around. There's so much cap time on the point, and there's no one able to run to it. So it is going to be 2-0 in the favor of Froyotech. And I know we didn't really say predictions at the start of this rumpus, but I think we both would have predicted Froyotech to win this. I don't think we would have predicted it to be as dominant as it's been so far.
Yeah, this is a fast 2 rounds. And to finish that thought earlier about this roster just feeling unfair, I mean, something bad happens on the mid, and I immediately saw multiple players sell out. And on previous Froyo rosters, sure, I mean, something bad happens against the Froyo players, you sell out on the med. The med you're selling out on is Lol Guy, so like, okay, actually goes down now. No perfect game for Lol Guy at least, but losing 4 combat players just for that kill. Bomo actually does go down as well, so it is a race to last for Hubada. Probably not going to make it there in time. Yeah, going to cut off in lobby. And taken out. That's a late death, meaning a late spawn as well. So Lol Guy actually gonna have some maybe relevant Uber advantage here. And nonetheless, obviously Froyo taking the mid as well.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate death for Hubada, being it so late, and also just a super long respawn timer. I think he had a 21-second respawn, which is maybe the longest you can get, I think, on any 5CP map or any COF map in general. So very unlucky for Moneyballs, but they're gonna have a little bit of time to try and stabilize here, because even though Lol Guy does have that Uber advantage, like you said, a little bit of time before Froyotech are gonna have it and gonna be able to take it in. So maybe an opportunity for Moneyballs to try and get maybe a pick, or just slow Froyotech down so they can get their own Uber.
Yeah, I think Raven spotted that they were trying to push the flank, and that actually kind of forced Froyo to slow down a bit. They were moving at like 70%. Now that they actually have, they are going. But a nice kill actually onto Soapy. And Kobe as well, so there's going to be a refight here. Ooh, but Vanny finding Loaf does not die for it. Nonetheless, though, Hubada getting Uber here means that Moneyballs are able to hold off and at least defend second here on even Ubers.
Benny hiding behind the boxes there as he gets chased by both scouts, and luckily Habib providing covering fire to ensure that his pocket scout gets out to safety. So that is exactly what Moneyballs needed. Getting those 2 picks has allowed them to solidify their defense on second and just make it a little bit harder for Froyotech to push in onto last. But Froyotech, they shouldn't be feeling too bad. They're already up 2 rounds, but trying to pressure in onto the second point is a lot different than any other second point in the map rotation, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, this is traditionally a point that in more modern TF2 you'll see a lot of banners get pulled out, at least, you know, when they're allowed, because it can be difficult to make things happen. I mean, you're just peeking tiny doors, getting spammed out. That being said, it's not the most intuitive point to defend either, because yeah, there's not like a super clear place for a combo to stand, such as, you know, a side spire on process, for example. Ooh, man, it's almost like some exchange pressure there from Bomo, but nope, just playing the spam game. Minute 50 left on the clock now.
Yep, minute 50, as we do have a bomb in, and is not going to be able to find the medic. It's just going to be a soldier trained loaf for Soapy, but Bomo on Habib rushing, but Shutter Door is going to be able to get that, and Speedy now up above is going to trade out again, but it's going to be in the favor of Moneyballs. They're chasing forward. You can see Bomo on the attack, wants to maybe try and take this Uber into Kobe and Lol Guy, but Kobe just going to be backing up. Lol Guy doesn't want to have to use it. It's going to be forced by the flank scout of Raven, getting the damage onto Lol Guy to make him use the Uber. Is gonna die. Soapy just barely staying alive, and they are gonna use the Uber as well. They need to get this pick onto Kobe sooner than later. They do finally get it, but now the spawns for Froyotech are here. Nice bomb from Loaf onto Habib. Gets the kill. Lol Guy just stuck out. Might be able to escape as Bomo and Hubada just kind of rushing into garage, and now Speedy jumps in. Is gonna die to the scout. We do have a bomb from the soldier. Gonna do a little bit of damage. They do find one onto Soapy. Lol Guy just stuck out on point, and the last one gonna be Banny and Kobe, and they're great scouts, and it seems like they're thinking about, no, they're just gonna back up.
Yeah, that was a great fight on 2, obviously. I saw Slug found 2 picks as well, but I'm surprised that Froyo made things look so even on the mid, because they just got like the 1 pick for the Uber, Obviously, Habita did get forced still, but it was a much later Uber. Moneyball should have been able to just set up really good positioning there, but Froyo pressure is no joke. Nonetheless, if Habita is able to take this point without using, which is a tall order, it looks like they might just want to pop through, almost peeking it. Actually just goes down to the spam. That's brutal. Now, definitely extra pressure to use this Uber. Try push is going to be that much more difficult. Oh, no.
Oh no, and they lose Slug as well. They might be able to get 2 soldiers, and they should. They do find one on the Soapy, and Speedy is going to go down, and actually to the half Zatuichi from Dingo. So nice little melee kill there. So it's not going to be all worthless. It's actually going to be okay for them. They're going to be able to get onto second, and finding that kill onto Kobe is going to be really great, because now even though Froyotech have Uber advantage, they're going to have to wait, make the decision. Do they want to go medium? Actually, no, Moneyballs, they're just coming in onto left before Froyotech have the Uber. I like the idea, but they might lose too many. They are going to lose 3. They only find one onto Soapy, and now they're going to have to completely give up second. I like the idea coming in before Froyotech have Uber, but they just expended a little bit too much and didn't get anything in return.
Yeah, and going with the 3 kills makes a lot of sense. The soldiers unfortunately had like 1 second left to spawn and were able to kind of just crunch the doorway. So few seconds faster there, things would have worked out, or just a few seconds later on the spawns. Nonetheless, only 20 ad for Froyo, and they actually back up out of the choke there against the forward spawners, despite having Uber. They are happy to just play this evens. So yeah, Moneyballs are able to kind of pressure free, figure out what they want to do into second.
Low kind of lingering, is actually going to be trying to bomb and take a 1v1 versus Kobe, but not going to win that one. Kobe, $5,000 MGE champ, and on the other side of things, actually going to be able to help take down Slug Noodle. So there's going to be no soldiers for Moneyballs, and you can immediately see Boma wants to take this Uber straight in through choke, recognizing that Froyotech were probably going to try and pressure through there. Does get the counter force out from Froyotech, but that's not going to stop Soapy coming in from Garage. Takes a lot of damage, is going to crater to his death. Kobe on the high ground manages to take Habita, jumping in through Catwalk, in through Garage, is going to be lurking in behind, does manage to get taken down, but they have already gotten their target. Habita has been eliminated. Raven is lurking in the back lines, but isn't going to go for anything, just going to run back out to the rest of his team, as Froyotech now have big Uber advantage.
Yeah, good flank play there from Raven to draw them back, and honestly, that fight was I mean, the exchange was basically perfect. I mean, we saw Froyo have 2 soldier kills, and they just got stuffed in the door with the exchange that they were not expecting to come that quick. And then in the post, we're kind of held into choke for a little bit. The combo was forced to wait for the flank to make space, which bought time for spawners and all that. Just unfortunate that Kobe was able to find Habita there. But nonetheless, Froyo actually just taking a pop through, and they do find Loaf. Soapy also hitting a nice jump in there. But no other kills. We might see some pressure into Yard here from Froyo, but it's going to be about 80 ad for Moneyballs.
Yep, gonna be very big advantage for them. Soapy Meister is hiding beneath the forward spawns. I don't know if they've heard his rocket jumps over there, but they should clear it, as Bomo is just peeking out, and they don't clear it in. Oh, luckily, Habita does use, but that's not where they would have wanted to use that Uber at all. They do find 2 for it. They find both Froyotech soldiers, so these chokes gonna be a lot more open for them.
Yeah, good enough to fight mid with, at the very least. And the fact that Little Guy doesn't have an Uber means that you don't really have to be scared to take space quickly here. At this point, Soapy has spawned. Little Guy's at 80%, so the prospect of an Uber is much more real. Loaf's going to be spotting choke. It looks like Froyo wants to be going choke with this. Yeah, Banny going through. Little Guy has Uber. Are we going to see a sack from one of Moneyball's soldiers? We're just going to play the spam. Loaf is in now on Habib. Jumping away, trying to live. As Slug, oh yeah, very weak. Just barely getting out there. And it looks like we might have a pause here.
We do indeed have a pause, so Froyotech trying to push their way in. They still have a little bit of Uber advantage over Habita and Moneyballs, around exactly 25%, at least from my HUD. So they've still, if they're in the dire straits, they can still rip it. And if Money, we do have word that a player has crashed, and I believe it's Habita. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's that's tough. At least that means that it wasn't just a straight up round. Although, maybe it is just a straight up round. We'll see. I don't know what the... You reckon that Froyo... There's the repause, so we should be going relatively soon here. You reckon Froyo tries to slime and take the rounds with the ad? Because this is only like 25 ad. Things are going to even out on second.
Yeah, I would hope that Froyo doesn't, and that they gentlemen and say, all right, we take mid, you guys... Well, actually, this is 90 seconds in the future, so we don't know exactly what the situation is going to be.
Right here, and then the crash doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that could be. If you're a pessimist, that could be the
that's
outcome.
The optimist position. That means that it's all
well, I guess, yeah. The other idea is that, you know, maybe little guy drops Uber. Oh, but
Soapy, okay, just holding the door open for Kobe. So the possibility of Hubba dying before crashing here is actually very real with Kobe rolling out on Sniper right now.
Yeah, I mean, Kobe has been so good on Sniper this season. Just in the Reckoner game, he was hitting shot after shot after shot. So he's going to be up on Sniper, peeking through a garage. I don't know if they spotted him just quite yet, but now he's getting towards that angle where he can take that shot, and seeing as no one is super close, he might just have to run out, but he's just taking his time trying to play all these very cheeky angles, and he's getting on top of the high ground, actually going for a very far away peeker. No, he's just jumping around, just kind of trying to take his time, maybe get to an angle where he can't be spotted.
And how about on Bomo? Very pushed up right now, very much looking for an exchange. Kobe gets caught in choke here, does go down. Nice timing there from Slug. Oh, and that's when Hubba crashed. That's very unfortunate because this was dead even Ubers. And yeah, Froyo, they're peeking. Habib's got the sword out. He's just checking what's going on. Actually, no, it looks like we're chilling. I might be playing things even. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, there's a melee duel. Oh, they're
building Uber. They're building Uber.
You know what? What a elegant way to solve that issue.
Yeah, you know, that's the quickest way that you could possibly do it. You know, you get 25% with every swing, so props to Froyotech.
50 HP. Oh, and he just drops to the spam. Oh,
no. To Habib, too. That the person he got Uber from.
Yeah, he immediately placed a tracking device on him.
That's secretly. Actually insane. He placed a sticky, and he did it, and that is what happened. So, Slug was in behind, not going to be able to do anything quite enough to equalize the situation as Froyotech. They're going to be pushing in with their Uber advantage as Loaf is up. Going through drop down is gonna make his way behind, and one of the quirks of the map is that drop down that goes all the way from second back into yard.
Yeah, definitely a high risk, high reward play here because Loaf is not going to be on last. And Froyo are already going into last. They have used in, so Slug is the only soldier that can stop point for the time being. And he gets headshot in there, so no soldiers to stop point. Loaf does find his kill, but a little too weak to do much else. Does go down. It will be a trade. Oh, and there it goes. A headshot kill from Kobe. Yeah, things looking... Never mind, the Slug Bomb finds two. Okay, it's suddenly a little more even. It is a 2v3, but never mind. Kobe's just going to hit every single headshot, I suppose. And we see a very balanced sniper gameplay here in the hands of Kobe 1920.
Kobe 1920, I mean, what can you say? I mean, there was a little bit of hope for Moneyballs, especially with Loaf managing to find a soldier kill there, and especially that bomb from Slug and the kill from Dingo. But yeah, just when you have a sniper, especially such an open last like Granary, it just makes it so hard. So we're going to be going in onto the 4th mid. Habib this time opting to roll out through choke and not on catwalk, as Dingo is going to manage to get the pack, not die immediately. Both soldiers flying in high, but Dingo is going to go down. Well, no one's really managing to get onto Froyotech as Kobe just cleans house at the moment. And they're good. Oh, Soapy with the spoon. And it's only going to be Hub and Bomo. Bomo does manage to protect his medic for a little bit, but they are not out of the woods just quite yet. They get disconnected, they get reconnected, and I think Hubada should manage to stay alive, but Froyotech are so aggressive here.
Yeah, spawners are here, but with that chase, Froyo definitely going to be able to secure second, and they're already capping that. Habib spawning now. We're going to wait for a forward. Soapy also just on Buddhist, waiting for the forward. No, I can appreciate that. Just hear some funny voice lines before switching to the class you actually want to play.
Yeah, you know, you get anything to get the morale up, you know, whether it's funny voice lines or something. You know, maybe they should equip the Halloween effects, because at the moment Moneyballs in dire straits. They do have Bomo up on Sniper, playing close. He gets the headshot onto Habib. You know, that's really great for them, because now that's going to put Froyotech at a little bit of a hesitation, you know, because they're not sure if they want to take this Uber advantage without, oh my god, onto Speedy as well. So that's going to be really, really good. They do lose Loaf, but they're trying to work their way in. They find one on the Soapy. They do lose Slug for it, so I think they're just going to back up and be content kind of holding off Froyotech for a little.
Yeah. And
almost beating super deep. He gets on the people again!
We've just been sent to respawn like 3 lives in a row after dying in the chase at mid. The gun is like spotting something. Who was that they was locking onto? I guess like,
I think it was Kobe on upper. Yeah. Wow. They get Soapy as well, so a lot of pressure coming up from Moneyballs, and Bomo is in extremely deep. Froyotech all hold up in Lunchbox, maybe, and they're actually going to back out through a drop down. I don't think they know on Moneyballs, though. It's really only Loaf on point, and they haven't put any pressure on it. They could cap this up right now, but
they just gave it up.
Just give it up.
I mean, that's a call that makes sense when you have the gun on last and you have a sniper. Like, you don't want a soldier to waddle over there and cap, and obviously, you know, it doesn't apply to a demo or a medic. So not having the scout there to be able to kind of edge point while still
nice bait.
Oh, yeah. While still being able to at least live. Yeah. On top of the fact that, you know, enough round time has been burned that the prospect of a reset has been a little more likely at least.
Yeah, that is true. There's only 2 minutes before a round reset, so that's definitely something to think about if you are Moneyballs. Froyotech, though, that does mean that they've just got 2 minutes to try and break in onto last, and I don't think we've seen an Uber stalemate like this on second to last, so Froyotech, their first real chance to try and break it and be in this position, as their attempts so far have not been too fruitful. Maybe you just rush Kobe and get him on Sniper, because he's been working wonders there. But it seems like they're trying to pressure from the right side from their point of view, get some damage onto the guns. They are going to get bombed, and Habib goes down again, not having any success on this last point. Speedy should go down as well. Is going to nice rocket from Slug to finally get that kill. So now 2 projectiles down on such a choky point of the map. This should be where Moneyballs at least try and peek in.
I think they can take this point, but with only 1 minute left, I mean, it's like, it's at least running through your mind, is it worth just taking the reset? Because granted, their mids have not been great. They've been mid to lasted a handful of times. It's like a couple times. But, yeah, I don't know. It's with just a reset being such a clear option here, it's definitely going to be enticing.
Yeah, it will be enticing. The thing is, though, I wouldn't say that their mids have been the best. So you think about, will you get mid to last it again? But we do have some bombs coming in. Soapy and Speedy. Speedy actually managing to find 2 there. So that is going to stop any opportunity for Moneyballs to push out. Kobe takes a lot of damage over, and upper is going to die. So it's only Banny and Lol, guys. So now they can push out if they want to. But Banny rushes in, gets onto Pomo. I don't think they were expecting that one. They haven't used Uber. Neither team has. And Banny actually wrapping around, wanting to stay in, is going to take the solo Uber in of a lifetime. And Lolguy gets a little bit of cap time onto the point, unflashing himself to do that. Banny is going to stay in, might manage to make it out, but now the Froyotech respawners are here, but it's too little too late. It is going to be a stalemate, and Moneyballs have gotten their wish. They're going to have an opportunity to fight mid once again.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams would just give up and accept the reset, but Froyo actually taking the exchange in, and I like low guy unflashing Vanny to get cap time, so it actually goes into overtime, maybe buy time for spawners. Yeah, obviously didn't work out here because it's just such a difficult situation to get any value in, but still, interestingly played.
It is, as we go in. Dingo taking a lot of damage early on. Speedy going for a fake bomb, and it is going to be a committal from Slug. Not going to land on anything is Raven, who gets the kill. So they've got one player advantage. Slug is in behind. Bailey's super weak. Going to find one onto Bomo, but a little bit better positioning maybe for Moneyballs. But as Froyotech are all holed up in this corner, they player advantage. Not with Slug jumping in. Gets onto Habib. Bailey taken down as well. So it's really only going to be Kobe, Sophie, and Lolguy. The G6 squad now on Froyotech. Can they represent as they're trying to fight in here? It's going to be a 3v3 fight. Hubbard, Raven, and Dingo trying to work their way onto the point, but Froyotech just have better positioning, and they're going to get the cap off of pressure alone.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that leave. I don't know. I mean, like, Sophie. Oh my god. Finding the spoon there. Oh my god. Oh, sometimes you just know it's gonna hit, and I just knew the second that I saw Habita popped up like that. Yeah, we were gonna see some fireworks, and just like that, off of what was a pretty normal looking mid, it's looking like it might just be a 4-0 game.
Yeah, it is looking like that as Froyotech are already on to last, and not everyone on Moneyballs has even respawned yet. Vanny capturing the point, Habib spawn camping, and that is going to be 4-0. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like what you said earlier. It's such an unfair Froyotech roster that they have got playmakers on every single class that you can't ever really count them out, and they're able to make a momentum happen out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it is do or die now for Moneyballs. Good early mid from Dingo so far. He has been really getting focused early into these mids, so being relatively healthy now is quite a blessing. Sophie is above on Catwalk already. Moneyball's just going to run it in to Froyotech. They do find Lolguy, but that's really all with Hubbard a full committed across. Yeah, he is going to go down. Dingo stuck behind here, will get cleaned up by Soapy. Scrappy mid. Lolguy did go down, so at least the round not going to end here. But yeah, I mean, you need some type of footing if you're Moneyballs to get around.
Yeah, you do. You need something to stay in the game. So luckily, like you said, getting Lolguy, they are going to at least be able to stabilize on second. I don't know if they're going to be able to take yard. Looks like Froyotech not really here, so they should be able to regain yard control, which is going to be good for them. Means that there's more ground for Froyotech to take. And as we kind of said earlier, not on this map, but the previous times we've seen Granary, it is kind of the 7 control point map. Yard can be its own point all to itself, so taking control of yards can be very beneficial for Moneyballs. But we already see the Froyotech answer. It is going to be Kobe 1920 up on Sniper, and we already know Rumpus how good he is on this class.
But yeah, last time around, he was able to just crash Hub's computer and get him to drop to stand after. So actually, Hub's not in a great spot against this Sniper angle. The spam is really nice as well. I mean, the Sniper is really good at just forcing different types of positioning. Unfortunately, Slug is going to find Kobe yet again here, so that's going to get shut down. And look at this, it's actually going to be already in, does go down, and Loaf died to a trap, so that's now down 2 soldiers on the counter aggression. Moneyballs might just leave here. Kind of looks like they're thinking about it. Yeah, they see the flank going, and they are just going to skedaddle back to lobby.
Yeah, they are going to get the heck out of there. They're just going to be staying here on second. Raven just getting too directed by Speedy, waiting for an arrow. Bomo down as well, so no scouts at all for Moneyballs. Banny is coming in. He does get the force out, staying alive for such a long time. He's going to get reflashed or flashed by the Uber. And oh my, Habib just with 2 stickies on the spawn door. And that is going to be it. 5-0 for Froyotech. An undefeated season, not dropping a single round, and they're looking extremely dominant as we head into playoffs.
Yeah, I think to say the least. I mean, if Froyo were not to win this season, I think it would be an upset, the likes of which we probably haven't seen before. Um, yeah, I don't think Moneyballs, did they ever actually like have control of mid? Actually, they did. Yeah, they had mid once upon a time. I think they were even like pressured into last off of kills from two, but I think that's the furthest they got. They didn't have add into last at any point, and yeah, Froyo just looking as dominant as ever.
Yep, looking as dominant as ever. And, one person that you can attribute to that, who you kind of shouted out earlier, Kobe 1920, 20-8, absolutely having a great time out there. Shooting a lot of people, not dying much. And also, low guy, only 4 deaths, Hubada 9, so 5 more for the enemy medic. Just makes it a lot harder to win if your medic is dying twice as much as the other team, so not much you can really say there. But yeah, just all the way across, Froyotech winning every single mid. Yeah, just looking at it, right, just to make sure. Yeah, winning every single mid as well, so just having kind of a stranglehold on the pace of the game.
Yeah, Dingo especially was just having such a rough time in those early mids, and Granary mid might be the easiest to just instantly die on as a demo, second only to like maybe Metalworks, just to like spam, for example, not a fast rollout. And yeah, Froyo were just so good at pressuring him so early that it was basically like panic mode immediately, where suddenly you just have this huge heal target that needs to get tanked. And obviously Froyo don't stop there. They're going to be pressuring other things, doing other things. I'm actually impressed with the work Slug was putting in as well as a, relatively new addition to the team, and honestly, like someone who is more so filling in because High Five couldn't play anymore. So, kind of the impromptu ad, doing quite well tonight at the very least. I saw a lot of great moments of him finding those kills in the counter-aggressive moments that Froyo would just lose a bunch of guys and lose some ground. In the rare occasions it happened. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Slug doing well. Bomo as well. Top damaging the server 19 and 11. Pretty good considering it was a 5-0 roll and that he was not on the right side of. But that is going to be the regular season, and we are going to head into playoffs. I don't know if that's going to start immediately next week or if they're going to take a week off. It's been a very strange season, so I'm not sure how the top 4 teams are going to decide to play it, but the top 4 teams are going to be Froyotech, Moneyballs, Global Clan, Zhao, and Fjord Gaming in that order. But all of them making it in. We are going to say goodbye to Global Clan Fire, just on the outskirts of the points. Unfortunate for them. So it's going to be, hopefully it should be a good playoffs. There's some games that I think are going to be maybe a little bit better than others. I think the Global Clan Zhao versus the Moneyballs game, I could see that being very, very close for probably expected second and third. But otherwise, it is Froyotech's kind of invite season to lose.
Yep, definitely agreed.
Yeah. And then, I guess as we wrap up the regular season, any final words for yourself, Rumpus?
Shoutouts KJR.
All right. I will say shoutouts to all the teams for playing, for sticking through it. Shoutouts to, I'd say some of the guys on Global Clan Zhao, Moose, Tiny, Robotnik Gamer. Great to see them over in Invite, making their way in playoffs first try. Love to see it. And shout outs to all the teams in general, and shout outs to all you guys for watching. Without you guys, there'd be no reason to pass to any of this. But that's going to be it for us tonight. Check back next time. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. Again, not quite sure when playoffs are going to be. But whenever they do happen, it is going to be Tuesday, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. So check back then, around then. Until then, hope you have a great night. Oh, it's going to be a weekend playoffs. Never mind. It's not going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's going to be a weekend playoffs.
Let's go.
All right. So it's going to be all condensed, which is going to be nice. Yeah. So check out for that. Till then, have a great night. We'll see you on the weekend.